Hey guys, we recently noticed this old railway line that used to go into an industrial complex of some sort in there, but obviously now it's some sort of electrical substation. And we're always curious about where it went to. We knew that was the end of the line, that it used to go into some industrial complex there, but we never knew where this went. So we decided to find out. So there's all sorts of stuff that's been built over different parts of the line, but obviously there's some of the line is still there, just enough to keep us interested. So away we go. It's funny, isn't it? Couple of meters of fence and a locked gate. Yeah. It's pretty well maintained, isn't it? Much better maintained than that one we walked on in the mountains. Obviously, that full-on jungle that one had become. This belongs to JR, Japan Rail, and probably because it's so close to the rice fields, they have to maintain it because the farmers don't want weeds growing next to their rice fields, obviously, because they'll get into their rice crops. But beautifully maintained. It was a pleasure to walk on compared to that one we did in the mountains. Much easier, much safer. Oh, you look at this, guys. Must have been some creek or something that they had to feed underneath the line. So they built this beautiful brick tunnel underneath the line. Isn't that beautiful? It's probably late 1800s. Apparently this line was built in the late 1800s, and they stopped using it in the 1960s, apparently, according to one of the locals. We're talking to one of the local old guys. That's what he told us anyway. So that bridge above us there is actually a new railway line that was built after this one was closed down. And the one above us is still being used. So another obvious difference between this line and the one we followed in the mountains was this one's a little bit more of a built-up area, of course, so it means it's better kept, which is nice, but obviously it's been cut up a lot more with little roads that have been put across it and other infrastructure that's gone on top of it, which meant it was easy to walk on, but there was a lot more fences to go around and roads to cross and houses to quietly avoid. This is a bit of an interesting development. They'd laid bitumen down over the top of this part of the track, but there's no real way to see why. All this land belongs to Japan Rail, and nobody seems to use this. The houses that are nearby don't directly access it, and there's no real reason to see why. But anyway, they did. They laid bitumen down on top of it, and no one uses it. So, bit of a mystery. So it got pretty bushy here, as you can see, and we couldn't actually get in there. There was a real serious fence, really serious fence, and there was actually some sort of business on the other side of the trees. But you could still see where the track went through the trees there. Oh, you see the spider? Gotta stay alert for the spiders. Again, not as many as there were in the mountains, and there were no snakes, so it was a much easier effort. It's also a lot cooler too, of course. It's November, so it's cooler. That nonsense that went on in the mountains was in the middle of summer. It was very, very hot. Those of you who watched those 4 videos will remember that. That was quite an intense experience. But it was very enjoyable. It was a lot of fun, that particular adventure. So obviously there would have been a bridge here, and they've demolished it, they've removed it, they've put in that other structure there. Bit of a shame, would have liked to have seen that old bridge, but anyway. Here we go, guys, we're almost at the end. And here it is, this is where it used to run to. And that's where the line is still active. So that, as you can see from the train that's parked there. So that station's still being used, and that's now the end of the line. So that's it. The mystery's been solved. Now we know where it goes. But just before we leave you, we'll just go back here. Remember this part where the trees are really dense. Now that's where we just were, up where the station is up there. Now if we look back this way, the line actually used to fork here. It went right off to the trees, and it went straight ahead down this path that we're walking on. And this goes to another end of the line that we're going to follow in another video. It's not far, but we're going to do it in another video. And it's got an interesting ending to it. More videos coming soon.